in this video, I'm rolling with, as I affectionately know him, Unchokeable Bruno again. Bruno is a young, I think he's either 18 or 19 years old, and he's already, I don't know if he's a genetic anomaly, but he is professional athlete strong and very innocent. He listens to everything. He absorbs everything. And you're going to see a big difference if you look at the last time we rolled as opposed to now. I mean, I already feel more resistance, a lot more. And not to say that he uses a lot of strength, but he's so strong. If he just contracts his muscles, he's automatically using a phenomenal amount with no effort on his part. I remember Bernardo once said, oh, well, you can use strength as long as you're not tired afterwards. Which, agreed in a match. Maybe not so much in rolling. So there's Purple Belt Mike and Funny George rolling over there. Doing some stand-up. Purple Belt Mike, even right there, that shot he did on George, that was really, I think, perfect. It was unhurried. It was perfectly timed. It was technically correct. I have a recent roll with him. He took my back. And he's a new purple belt, I believe. So he's trying to play like an open guard, but again, with most new guard people, they tend to not engage. So his left leg is just hanging over my shoulder. At any time, I could scoop my right arm under it. My wife just showed me a box of cupcakes, I have to say it on the channel, from a good Italian bakery. Always distracting me. Just kidding. Always supporting. If I don't go to jiu-jitsu, I have to give the explanation to my wife. So here he's trying to break my posture, and he feels strong. I mean, it's hard to resist in many ways. I'm engaging my core. I'm based back. So here I'm letting him break my posture, and I'm changing angles on his knee so I can pass his guard. That was my thinking there. Yeah, he plays my game in many ways. See how he was going for the Kimura there? But I was able to get my knee across his chest, across his center line, my right knee across his center line for mount. I like mount lately. I never liked it before. For over a decade, I never liked it. But see how he pulled me up there and I pinned his arms? Most people would be pinned helplessly there, but he was doing a good job of inverting. He has a good inversion for a guy that's as big and strong as he is. See, now I have his elbows away from his body. That's what I want. He's pretty helpless that way. What I should do to stop him from inverting is bring up my feet and put them near his crotchal region. And that'll prevent him from coming up. It's a butterfly mount. But for some reason, I'm so focused on his upper body, I'm focused more on bringing my knees under his elbows, peeling his elbow away from his body because he's so strong. Even there, in his weakest position, he almost took my back. See there, I started losing the position, so I simply switched to knee on belly. When there's too much power and you're getting bench pressed off, switch to knee on belly, or switch to something else. Lose the position on your terms. When someone's in your guard, if you wait for them to break your guard, it's too late. When you know your guard's on the verge of breaking, you have to go to an attack. So here, I'm cooking him a little. You know, one thing I like about Bruno is he doesn't go crazy. He doesn't, he has a lot of natural, I would say, professional strength and athleticism. Well, I'm not even sure about the athleticism. But his strength is such. He's going to be scary. I mean, he already has more than enough. Now, being strong in jiu-jitsu, I say it's a curse, but in the beginning, it's very much a blessing because you could be more experimental, make mistakes, get out of it. It's more forgiving. At the higher levels, it becomes a curse because you depended on it maybe up until purple belt, and you start to think, oh, the answers aren't in that. I can actually just use leverage or timing or positioning or pressure. So here he's trying to pull me in. As you can see, I'm just catching my breath, just moderating my breathing. You know, sometimes when someone's on top of me, they're breathing so heavy, I tell them, I say, you got to moderate your breathing. You're letting your reptilian brain take over and dictate the pace of your breathing. Now, that moderation, I don't have to think about it anymore, but there's a phase where you have to think about it before it becomes natural. So here I'm, again, cooking him a little bit. He let me wrap up his head there. So I'm not in a full mount because he's so big and strong. I feel like if he pushes me off from here, I could still maintain. I could pop my posture up to knee on belly. I could spin to the other side. I have more options. See, I'm keeping his elbow. I like to keep his elbows off the mat. When his elbows are off the mat, he's really just floundering. Once the muscles are pushed into a certain position, it's hard for them to come back. So here, look, I have knee on belly and I'm scooping his elbow. Now I switch to the other side. Also, I think this round's probably about 12 minutes. We're 7 minutes in. I'm not breathing heavy. And he's doing pretty good with his breathing as well. He's not pushing his athletic limits. He's kind of seeing where things go. He reminds me of Purple Belt Mike. And I suspect he might get good pretty quickly the same way. Sometimes I look at people that learn quick and I wish I was like them. It might take me 20% longer to learn it, but I'll still learn it. I'm more of a principle-based learner, so it takes me longer to really absorb things, but when they sink in, that they sink in very deeply. I noticed this even from when I was a commodities trader in different aspects of my life, mortgages, being on Wall Street. So there I was putting pressure with my right knee, and when he turned over, I always look for that arm attack. If I see that elbow point towards the ceiling, I always go for the arm bar. What's funny here is I should have scooted my hips under. In this moment, I couldn't figure out the best way to get this bicep slicer. See, here it's not tight. I have to get my right leg like straight across. But at the same time, I knew it was preventing him from doing anything, and it didn't take much effort from me. So there I tried to make an adjustment, but again, he turned his arm down. So if his elbow was back and up, I would have finished it already. But he's keeping it down. I don't know if he's defending it on purpose or I just interlocked the wrong way. So there I switched to the diamond, and I looked to scoop his head and get the triangle, but I couldn't. But as you could see, I stepped over and I pinned his right arm instantly. So once I knew that technique wasn't working, I went straight to something else. Here I'm trying to finish him with an arm bar from the top. I'm trying to pull his elbow in. But he did a good job of resisting, possibly kicked me in the face. But I don't blame him, because that's what happens in certain positions. You have to be able to protect your head. When I get kicked in the head, sometimes I tell people that was my fault, because my head shouldn't be there, unprotected, with no frames protecting it. Because if it was a fight, he could just knee me in the face, and probably would. So here I was looking for the wrist lock. I don't know if you're able to see that. I had his elbow pinned, and I was just trying to get the tap with the weight. but he doesn't tap. I have to give him credit. He's still very resistant to tapping to submissions. And I don't know if it's just because he's so big and strong, but thank you for watching. If you find value in my content, you want to help support the channel, you could buy me a coffee. The link's in the description. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.